was that you're from a media background, and across the board, sports organisations, I think, don't spend enough time working on that relationship. You'll know what it's like from that side of the fence, and what all sports can do, particularly cycling, to make the most of it. I don't think they do maximise that opportunity.
Yeah, look, I'd say that's fair, and I think that's something that's been recognised as well in probably this appointment. I think there's so much that goes on here, and I suppose with me from the outside kind of coming in, you can just walk in here and see areas where we can tell those great stories, where vast majority of the general public probably don't realise. But undoubtedly the media, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, Tom, but the media is has a very important role to play, and I particularly say from a television point of view as well, when you consider how I guess cycling's a fantastic TV sport. But in general terms, it's those are the kind of relationships that, with a bit of luck, with my background, I can assist pretty quick in terms of building on the good stuff that's been done in the past. So no, don't worry, we'll be talking, mate.
That's right, yeah. And you have all the contacts. I mean, you've built that up over many years through the sport, so you're not starting from scratch. There's got to be help for you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that's right. And that's the good thing. The nice part about it too is that I'll probably keep the hand in a little. Cycling Southland have been very kind, so long as obviously it doesn't impact, on the role here to still do a bit of radio work from a commentary point of view, because that's the passion, mate. And I know you're the same, is actually getting out there on the and covering sport. It's the reason I got into the gig 16 years ago. So it's funny how it works now that I guess I've transferred into a sporting role, but can still keep the ties from a sports broadcasting point of view, as on a very casual basis, admittedly, but enough to keep the hand in too. So that's quite nice.
Because you watch very carefully from a national point of view, simply because so many national events here, national teams train here, but there's an association. We've got the Sarah Ulmer Lounge and various other connections. So this isn't just a Southland entity, it's a New Zealand one. Oh,
and it's a very important one for Bike New Zealand as well, And I guess, I suppose we're slightly biased when we say this, but there's no doubt in my mind that, that the real increase in results that we've seen, 15 world champions for Bike New Zealand throughout 2009, and you can't tell me it's a coincidence that that's occurred since we've got this, facility going. So, look, it's vitally important, for Bike New Zealand at the elite level, and for Cycling Southland at, the elite and grassroots level, And I think that's the unique thing really about this organisation too, is that you're going to have people, and we've got some buzzing around now, operating at that high level. But I was down here a couple of days ago, and there was a really mixed crowd, which literally would have spanned 40 or 50 decades of people who were doing lunchtime runs around the velodrome. How fantastic is that, to have a sport where no matter how old you are, from literally my little 4-year-old daughter, up to I won't say my 80-year-old nana, she probably couldn't do it anymore, but to people in their 60s and 70s blatting around here at lunchtime too. It's just that's fantastic. So it's great to see.
Have you blatted around? Because I'm actually terrified of that slope.
Well, not on the velodrome actually. Yeah, the only prerequisite I had, particularly after Christmas, was that I couldn't put Lycra on because I was worried with the carrying a few extra kilos how that might look. But I must admit. Maybe coincidentally, I dusted the mountain bike off over Christmas and did a bit of rail trail work, and we're up in central Otago. I have worked out, mate, that the key will be, though, to either get a more comfortable seat or those padded bike pants, because I tell you, the rump was feeling it after a couple of days.
The other good base you've got is the support, and I admit I'm surprised about the huge numbers that are coming to events here, because there's lots of them. And also from the corporate sector, you look at the corporate challenge you have every year. That's a tremendous base, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's the great thing here, is that you've got an organisation which has just got such a fantastic foundation. Sure that they've recognised that there's potential to actually capitalise on the opportunity they've got by I guess bringing a role like this in. But like I said, I really will re-emphasise it. I think Cycling Southland's done a fantastic job, and that's the attraction coming in. As you've got such a solid foundation, such a great mountain of support, really. From the various stakeholders and sponsors and the like. Really well supported across the board, and it's about enhancing the experience that those people have with cycling generally down here in the south. So you got a lot of stakeholders to I guess look after, and to make sure they're getting bangs for buck too, because that's what it's about in the modern day and age. But the support, it's a bit like this velodrome. It's great to have it. We don't want to take it for granted. We want to continually raise the bar and do an even better job for those that are prepared to help us out, as they do so well.
What I think is a good thing for you is you're going to be the first CEO, effectively. So there's no one to be compared with.
Yeah.
You've got lots of people who've made huge contributions, but really you're going to form the role the way you want it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and that is exciting. Yeah, I mean, my style, I guess, is very collaborative, I'd have to say. So, I'm not the kind of person that'll go out there and just so I can ease any concerns around that and run off on a merry goose chase, doing all sorts of crazy things. I like coming up with creative ideas. I guess that's what the media industry has had to do over the last 15 years to stay current. But yeah, look, it's a great opportunity, I guess, to charter a bit of course along with the hardworking bunch here to I guess do as good a job as we can for all of those stakeholders that we talked about. So, but at least I'll be better than the last guy, because there was no last guy.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about a start date, because obviously you've got a bit of a handover period there.
Yeah, we'll transition over the next 6 weeks or so. So I'll start the role officially here on March the 1st. It's a nice easy round date on a Monday to start there too. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I guess there'll be a bit of toing and froing in between times, and obviously with the Nationals coming up, I won't be a stranger here. I'll be into taking those and help out any way I can too. So it's one of those things though, Tom, that once you get everything aligned, there's no doubt that I really want to make sure everything's left well with the radio network. I mean, as I say, I'm still going to have a hand in with the organisation with a bit of luck, and I've loved every minute of what I've done. So really respectful and mindful of that as well. But yeah, really keen to get stuck in here too. So March 1 officially. Yeah.
Should take this opportunity. You mentioned the Nationals. This is the first time they've been elite, so they're going to be just the very top people in one event, not interspersed. That's a tremendous advance, I think, in terms of getting it as a TV and as a spectator spectacle.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the other aspect too is you get two bites of the cherry, don't you, as well, when you split out the elite and the rest of the Nationals too. So nothing wrong with that. I think you're right. I mean, I think the opportunity to come along here and see the cream of the talent really that's on show throughout the country is just an outstanding opportunity. And the funny thing is, we very quickly think to ourselves that that's just the way it is. I mean, when you stop and take a step back and you think, how magnificent is it to have the riders, the quality that we'll have on show down here at the ILT Velodrome here in Southland, living and breathing the build-up, and also obviously, doing the business out there. It's just a wonderful achievement by Southland. I'm continually, I guess, amazed by it too. So yeah, look, it's fantastic. I think it's going to be a great event. It's a very busy timetable, obviously, for the organisation, but I know that things are all on hand there as always. They're a well-oiled machine, so hopefully I don't stuff that up when I start.
And how many events in Southland are host to Olympic medalists,
right.
World Championship holders? The host is just none.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, and sometimes once we get them here, I suppose there's a bit of hype and hoopla around the first couple of years, isn't there? And then it kind of just becomes the way it is. It's a bit like the Sting and the Steel, and their efforts as well. We kind of almost expect it. That expectation rises. But look, it is fantastic, as you say. So look, going to have a big weekend in Feb when that happens, and we'd like to see all these seats filled. No question about that.
And the cream of the cake is obviously the fact that there are homegrown Southlanders amongst those elite. The looks of Tom Scully has actually come a million miles in the sport.
Yeah, incredible, in a real short space of time too, isn't it? Fantastic, And I love the stories that I've read and followed his progress, his rapid ascent, isn't it? Brilliant. So, yeah, look, just fantastic, and I guess that's the opportunity locally that we can see here too. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid to use this place to our advantage on a local level. Continually do it, and I think you probably touched on quite a good point there from cycling generally throughout the country. It's about getting getting them in early, isn't it? Because I think the statistics that I've seen is that over the last 10 or so years the actual number of school children cycling is actually dropping. So there's some work to do there, absolutely. Something that I know Bike New Zealand's very aware of, and something that I know we can assist with on a local level here too.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.